Time is limited. A day has only 24 hours, a week 7 days. If you don't finish all the games that you start, you should not feel bad about it. But you probably do, because our brains can't stand it. How big of a problem is not finishing games or individual quests? What can you do to deal with it better?
Yay! Ugh. Well then.
Hi, my name is Szymon Adamus and these are the amazing games. There are many reasons for not finishing games. For example, the older we are, the more money we have for entertainment, but less time. It's a very poor system, but it is what it is. And games are not the only way to spend your free time. Even if we limit ourselves only to things we can do at home, we give up contacts with family and sex, we can choose from games, movies, TV shows, books, podcasts, music, YouTube, board games, and so on and so on. The competition on the entertainment market is currently so great that content producers must fight not for our money, but our time. On January 17, 2019, Netflix sent a letter to its shareholders informing about the current situation of the company. In it, we've read, among other things, that Netflix's main competitor is not HBO as you might think, but Fortnite. At the end of 2018, Netflix had nearly 139 million subscribers, but Fortnite had 200 million. Users' time is limited and many of them chose to play a game instead of watching a brand new TV show. The report says there are thousands of competitors in the highly fragmented market trying to entertain consumers. Our growth is based on how good our experience is compared to all the other screen time experiences from which consumers choose. At this time, Netflix generated around 100 million hours of content views daily, and only in the US. But Netflix also estimated that Americans watch about 1 billion hours of television every day. This is some serious love for a moving pictures. It is equally hot on the gaming market. According to Steam Spy, there are currently approximately 38,000 games on Steam. In 2019, nearly 8,000 games came out, so about 22 every day. Who has time for all that? And if you like to finish games with 100% completion and you are interested in big AAA titles, then you are screwed. The time it takes to max out some of them has to be calculated in weeks of game time. Perhaps that's why so many of us don't finish games. According to Keith Fuller, a veteran of gaming market, it's not even a quarter of players. In an interview with CNN, which Kotaku quotes, Fuller said, 90% of players who start your game will never see the end of it unless they watch a clip on YouTube. Even if this data is exaggerated, what Gamefront suggests, counting the numbers of players not finishing games at about 35-40%, the fact remains, many of us do not finish games. One could say, so what? It's just gaming, pure entertainment. When the game bores me, I put it away and start another one. No mercy. But the problem is that our brains don't know that. The Zeigarnik effect, which name comes from Bluma Zeigarnik, a Soviet psychologist who studied this issue in 1927, is the tendency of our brains to better remember and even ponder upon events that we didn't finish, in particular those that were interrupted. This effect can be used positively, for example, to motivate ourselves. If we want to start exercising, for example, but cannot motivate ourselves, it is worth taking the first small step towards training and stop. Our brain will demand completion, so the next day it will be easier to start again. The problem occurs when another interesting game interrupts the previous one, or when the creators of the game add so many collectible items to it that looking for them becomes a chore, not a pleasure.
I want those feathers.
What for?
It's a secret.
This is not a trivial matter. Unfinished issues can have small impact on our psyche, cause only discomfort or anxiety, but the more they are and the more serious they become, the more dangerous they might be. In the worst case scenario, they can contribute to sleep and heart problems or even depression. But games are meant to be entertainment, every normal player shouts now. So how can we deal with it? Fortunately, there are ways to do it. In the case of games, it is worth avoiding those tasks that are added to the game only to artificially inflate its length. It's not easy because the mere presence of the task marker on the map already produces the discussed negative effect. But it will be much harder to ignore them after we start the task. So next time you want to start a quest to collect those damn feathers in Assassin's Creed, try not to. Don't start it so you won't have a problem with finishing it. However, if you can't stop yourself and you get stuck in this unpleasant moment when the quest becomes annoying and tiring, but you are no longer able to ignore it, then you can try to cheat your own brain. Indre Viskontas, a neuroscientist and an opera singer, explains that our brains are built to constantly predict the future. We build different versions of the potential future in every second of our life to be prepared for it. Expecting something and meeting that expectation even stimulates different parts of the brain. When we wait for something, the brain floods the caudate nucleus with dopamine. It builds association of pleasure with waiting for something good. It teaches us what to wait for and what to ignore. On the other hand, when we reach something that we were waiting for example, an important fragment in the song or the end of the mission in a video game, dopamine floods the nucleus accumbens. The more dopamine in the nucleus accumbens, the higher the high, the more pleasure from completing the certain task. To put it simply, the more desire you have for something, the greater your fulfillment will be. Like when we listen to a known great song and reach the point where the growing tension is finally satisfied. Do you remember In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins?
This is my favorite part coming up right now.
What ultimately music does, it harnesses the brain's desire to predict the future. And so, you create tension as a musician for an ultimate release. If you stop the piece before the tension is released, unless that's really unintentional. Right, yeah. It's annoying.
Such an annoying effect is caused by unfinished missions in the game too. The way Indre Viskontas recommends us to cheat our brains is by building our own endings.
One of the cures for earworms is to, in your head, volitionally make up a big ending, put a big finish onto the piece, work it through, and then hopefully your brain will be like, okay, now that's done, I can move on.
The same trick can work on annoying missions in the video game that are made only to make the game seem bigger. All these repeatable, boring quests or hundreds of collectibles hidden on the game map.
No. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. 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 No.
So next time you can't sleep at night thinking about the next Riddler question mark in the Batman Arkham series, or next settlement that Preston Garvey can't protect himself and uses a poor player to do it, then you know that there is something you can do about it. And no, you don't have to try to kill Preston at all. Try to write in your head an ending of this annoying quest. Play the role of a game master who completes the quest. Tell yourself that you have already finished it, received a reward, and that this part of the game is behind you. Maybe in this way you can fool your own brain and show the middle finger to creators who think that we have nothing better to do than run around collecting stupid feathers.
As promised.
Grazie, brother.
You still haven't told me why you want these.
I will.
In time.
Thanks for visiting my channel. If you like the video, please leave a like and a comment, and have a great day. Bye.
I can't lead Enigma at large. I'll find his trophies and put him behind bars.